Hi, and welcome to the Street22 podcast. We are here today in the beautiful Innsbruck in Austria. I hope your day is going well. Ours is about to get quite nerdy as we are covering the story today of the many truths of women in park and pipe skiing. If you had read the title on our Instagram prior, it only said many truths of the women in park skiing. However, as we dig through history, you can't go about the story of park skiing without mentioning the influence of Sarah Berg in halfpipe. So it's now the story of park and pipe skiing throughout the years. We say many truths because there isn't just one reality of what it means to be a woman in park and pipe skiing. Experiences look different depending on where you grew up, what you had access to, who supported you, who didn't. Some women were celebrated, some went under the radar, and some had to make statements just to be included. And all of this exists under the same sport at the same time. And we're having this conversation today because some recent podcast articles and mainstream media have released opinion targeting women. When discussing these recent pieces of media information between all of the skier friends, we realized that we all had different opinions. We had different puzzle pieces that made us learn a lot from each other. It gave us the idea of doing a whole timeline of women, park, and pipe, because the only thing that is undeniable is history. Knowing what happened will give you the skills to understand to your best ability what's going on today and where to go from here. In the first part of the podcast, we will give you the factual timeline, facts, history, and milestone of the past 35 years in women, park, and pipe from 1990 to today. There will be no opinion, just facts in this first part, and it will give you a big picture of how history played out and why keeping legacy of these athletes before us, all the athletes that were there before us, is so important. In the second part, we are joined by someone who was there when park history was written. She will give us a first-person point of view of her own experience. Is Rosina Friedel. She is the Super Unknown first finalist in 2018. She was named New Schooler Female Skier of the Year in 2023. She is behind Bucket Clips 1234, founder of Peanut Butter Club, and many more. She has done literally so much. I'm quite excited to sit down and talk with her today. So let's get right into it with part one. Let's go do the factual timeline, history, facts, milestone. You'll see it's very interesting. Whatever, we just get into it. Okay, I just pulled up on my computer the timeline park and pipe ski women that we have built here at Street 22 podcast. We've separated in 5 periods of time from 1990s to today. If you are a visual listener, I am sorry I will look a lot on my computer because otherwise I will forget many things. So let's get started. Okay, first period of time is the start of Talent Park. So the park skiing emerged in ski resorts between 1994 to 1998. Prior to that, it was done in the street. It was done as DIY. It was not part of any ski resorts area. It was really just a culture, a subculture. And in 1994, snowboard terrain parks started being copied by ski resorts. So the early park for skiers looked like small kickers, well made from scaffolding and plumbing pipes. No supervision, no safety standard. There was not an organized sport yet. Places like Mammoth, California, Breckenridge Vale, Colorado, Whistler, BC were building permanent terrain park now at this time. That's when park skiing became a more accessible thing than riding the street. At this time, there's not really any women video part. There's very few sponsors willing to invest. There's no media coverage and no structure contests really available for the women. There is also not a lot of women doing the sport since it's brand new. They existed in the culture, but not in the industry yet. In the later 1990s, women start appearing in contests, but usually as a side category. They get small invitational spots in freestyle competition. The prize money is a fraction of the men. The media treats the women as novelty more than athletes, which means they see the women as entertainment, not as athletes with career, risk, or impact. The sentence, "she's good for a girl," is wildly used. Haida founded Nikita for Girls Who Ride in Iceland in the later 1990s after noticing a lack of women-specific snowboard and ski clothing. Free Skier magazine Kristi Leskinen wrote, in those early days, there were no women division at competition and no girls in ski videos. And 1999 is the first X Games ski super pipe and big air. Only men are invited. Women will be included 6 years later in super pipe and 3 years later in big air. which lead us to our second timeline from 2000 to 2012. This is a big one. So you have to attach yourself to the table, attach your beanie on your head, basically. Let's get started. It's 2000 now. Prize purses are not equal. Sarah Burke says, while men are taking home prize money up to $20,000, the women prize money were rarely more than $2,000. In 2001, Sarah wins the halfpipe competition at the U.S. Frisky Open. She's then awarded ESPN Female Ski of the Year, and she begins looking for more opportunities. However, for women at that time, that was the top competition. So Sarah said no problem. She starts competing against men in bigger competition when there was no category for women. This became very political. She also arrived fourth in one of them. Amazing. Let's keep going. We're in 2002 now. X Games adds ski slopestyle to its sports lineup, but women's ski slopestyle is missing. Women will be included in this lineup 7 years later. At that time, you might remember names like Kaya Tursky, Kehi Herman, Kim Lamar, Emma Dahlstrom, Coco Ballet-Baz, Grete Eliassen, Maria Baj, and Maddie Barman. They really showed that the gap was never really about the ability to ski, but really the access. It's 2004 now. It's Level 1 Super Non-First Edition. However, women will only be invited 14 years later because of Rosina Friedel. 2005, X Games add women's superpipe category for the first time. Sarah Burks becomes the first woman to land 720, 900, 1080 in halfpipe competition, showing how women inclusion in competition matters for the progression of the sport. It's 2008. With the support of the Women's Sport Foundation, women skiers at the X Games Superpipe finally took home the same prize money as the men. The same year is 99 First Edition, a men's-only free ski castle feature invitational. Women will be invited 3 years later. In the meantime, the first edition of Queen of Quark, organized by Powder Girl, is created. It's mentioned to be created because women lack access anywhere else. 2009, women's ski slopestyle makes its X Games debut after years of fighting with the sports organizer. January X Games slopestyle featured 8 women, and Anna Segal took the gold. In the same year, Sarah advocated with the International Olympic Committee to get women in the Olympic superpipe and slopestyle. She makes a petition and makes a big impact on the sports by doing so. 2011, Nine Queens First Edition, so the Nine Nights Women Edition, is starting. Kaya Tursky and Maria Baj land the first ever switch 1080 in women free ski history, showing again how women inclusion in competition matter for the progression of the sport. In 2012, in a pipe accident during training, Sarah passes away from her injury. In the years before her passing, Sarah Burke worked to get halfpipe and slopestyle skiing into the Winter Olympics. She had built a huge political case to advocate for it. It included 3 strategies. First, she gathered a strong petition and open letters from the athletes to show their interest from within the sport. And second, she lobbied inside the Olympic system. To do so, she personally met with the International Olympic Committee official and the FIST officials. FIST is the International Ski Federation. Those meetings aim to formalize women events, which is needed to be included in the Olympics. So she showed them files explaining the competitive depths of women skiing, the media interest, the audience growth, and the unfair exclusion compared to men's. For her final strategy, she used the media pressure. So she did interviews and magazine features to make sure the public is aware of the matter. Which leads us into our third period of time, 2014 to 2018, the Olympic shift. So in 2014, slopestyle and halfpipe makes the debut in the Olympics. For the first time, women were included from the very start. Sarah is officially mentioned as the major reason halfpipe even existed in the Olympics. From then, national funding starts to open wider for park and pipe women skiers, more girls joined the sports, and more clubs were created. In the second Olympic, Pyeongchang 2018, it really boosted the sport. So now the mainstream media pays even more attention. It gives more professional opportunities to women skiers to make a living out of the sport. In the alternative world competition and video contest, in 2017, we see the first ever women's slush game, which is a new concept that started in 2015. The first game is Emma Dahlstrom and Coco Ballet-Baz against each other. The next time you'll be seeing a slush game will be 6 years later in 2024 with Rel and Olivia, and the Slush Cup will be women included in 2025. In 2018, Rosina becomes the first woman to be a Super Unknown finalist after 14 years of waiting. Level 1 opened a permanent spot for women starting the next year. So in 2019, we will see Burrito Gio. We start to see an explosion of style in women, Mad Mode with her baggy style, Rosina in the streets, Georgia with her end drag, and it leads us to our fourth period of time, 2019 to 2022. We are starting this timeline with Brita Sigourney. She is now at that time 5-time X Games medalist in Superpipe. And she quotes, "I was really fortunate to be in the generation after Sarah Burke because she was really the pioneer who fought for those rights for us. I'm forever grateful for Sarah, Jen, and Christy, and those women who blazed the trail for us, because now I just get to come in here and focus on my skiing." In 2019, the first trick is named after a woman. It's a snowboard woman named Barrett Christie Cummins, and it's called the Barrett Roll. It's a very symbolic moment even in skiing because it signals women are creating their own legacy. 2020, first ever switch double cork 1440 Mathilde Gremot lands in training. At that time, social media, building platform independently becomes the new things. We are creating audiences without brands or film crew. In 2020 as well, the Freeride World Tour finally agrees for the first time upon equal pay. There is the same year first edition of Knuckle Hop for men's skiing, but women will only be added 4 years later. 2021. People are calling out inequality, demanding equity. Brands are pressured to change behavior and promote inclusivity. Women still have to demand equal prize money in a lot of events, and especially real contracts. That same year, X Games Real Ski Video Contest has Taylor Brooke Lundquist as the first female competitor invited. Taylor advocates that the history repeats itself when inviting a woman in a men's-only competition. 2022. Eileen gets the first ever woman pro model half-pipe ski with faction named Studio Zero Gu. At the age of 18, she is the first freestyle skier to win 3 medals at the Single Winter Olympics. Times name her one of the 100 most influential people in the world under the Pioneers category. We see that same year the first women double cork 1620 in competition, X Games by Tess Leder. And we see Bucket Clips, an all-female ski mixtape by Rosina Friedel, has its first edition that is still going on today. It's on its fourth edition. 2023, women's first triple cork 14 by Megan Omen in the X Games of Aspen. The same year, Taylor Brooke Lundquist gets a pro model ski with Lime. The next year, in 2024, the first women pro model park boat comes to life. It's a Taylor Lundquist signature boat by K2. We see Teresa Korabova gets a pro model ski with surface ski. That same year, Slush Game feature again women with Rel Hardwood and Olivia Slay. We see the first edition of Knuckle Hop Women in X Games Aspen, and Mathilde Gremot becomes the first woman to win 3 Crystal Globes in one season. 2025, our last year, Taylor Brooke Lundquist created the TBL session in Brighton, Utah, inviting women from all around the world to have a multiple days event and be able to get media coverage, prize money, and meet other riders to maybe create project with. Amazing initiative. For the first time, women are part of the Slush Cup, and Alaïs Develay takes the win. And for our last milestone of today for the timeline of women park and park skiing, 1990 to 2025, we have Mathilde Gremot with the 4th women pro model ski. So it's the signature model of Fisher MG Nightstick Pro Model Mathilde Gremot. So this was it for the timeline. Thank you for bearing with us. We know we have not named every milestone that in women's skiing. We did kind of a brief version to make this nicer to listen to so that it had a great storyline. But just know that it's a teamwork. This is homework of memory. So if you have anything you really would have wished we mentioned here, please let us know. We are on the same team here. We just want to try and find history. And frankly, it was so hard to find the archives. We looked everywhere. It's oddly documented. Fizz helped us with the competition, but there's so much more to know and some stuff you needed to know if you were there, which is why we're gonna receive Rosina with us this evening, and she can let us know how was her own experience, how she lived those years, and we are more than excited to have her at this table in a few minutes. So let's get into it. Welcome to the second part of the episode where we have Rosina Friedel with us. Rosina didn't just witness the evolution of women park skiing, she helped shape it. You have made super unknown super final in 2018. You have been the New Schooler Female Skier Award of 2023. You have done like Eclipse 1, 2, 3, 4, and co-owner of Peanut Butter Club.
Co-owner now.
Co-owner with who?
With Katie and Teresa.
With Katie and Teresa. Yes. You have a long list of accomplishments, which is why we have you on the pod today. We are so delighted to be in your now hometown. It's been, what, over 10 years you're in Innsbruck?
Yes, I think 11 years already. Yeah.
Well, when you moved to Innsbruck, where'd you move from?
I'm from Bad Tölz. It's kind of the halfway to Munich. So it's close to the Alps. So it's super close.
And what happens? It's Bad Tirol? Isn't that how you say it? Bad Tirol?
Bad Tirol. It's Germany. I'm from Germany.
Okay.
But the mountains are so small there. And all the parks closed. And then I was, everyone who really want to ski, moved to Innsbruck. And I was like, I also want to go.
Nice.
Yes. And now I'm here and can't go again.
Yeah, you're like the queen of Innsbruck. I mean, everybody knows you in Innsbruck. Yeah. Since I arrived here in September, you are in such a lot of conversation. Your name comes up all the time. You are one with the community for sure. When did you start park skiing, and who were the big names at the time?
Mm-hmm. I started park skiing, I think, I was 16. I started home with my ex-boyfriend. We were kind of a crew when they skied. And yes, so I started with skiing before I was a snowboarder, like 7 years. Yes. And then I started park skiing, and then I really liked it, and I think it gave me so much self-confidence. But I think with who I was watching, I think the first who really came and I was really inspired by was Meg Moore.
The Quebec?
Yes.
I know that. It made all its way to Germany.
Yeah.
Innsbruck.
Because I remember she had the most style I ever saw, and I was really hyped and I also wanted to ski like her.
Yeah, baggy style, super East Coast. She was my staple too, and I'm 98, so for me the park was more 2015, and she still was.
Yeah, she still has a lot of style, I think.
Yeah, well, just like you, she transferred to freeride now. You still do park, but we see you doing awesome clips at POW. And you guys are both like in a similar area of style, like the hand drives. Yeah. Would you say you got inspired from her style and it built yours?
I think definitely I got inspired by her style. I would say there was not so many women, and I think there was no Insta when I started, so it was not so easy to get inspired. And maybe since there were also no women or anything, so I think it started with her, and that she was at the nine queens, I think, back in the days. Yeah. So I saw her in CFLs, and I was stoked, and then I was watching her videos, and yeah.
Nice.
No,
so
and I think it was Taylor.
So it was more about the private contest, the invitational. That's when you got more of the videos to see, less than some street part.
Yeah, because it was in CFLs, it's a ski area in Austria. And back in the days, they had a really good park. So we went there always. And then she was skiing there because the event was there. And I still remember,
the big castle.
Yes.
It's so special.
And the park. And yes.
That's something I got so inspired to. I remember making an edit with the same songs as Nine Queens. Because I was like, it's so big. It's so much. And there was a lot of firsts happening in Nine Queens too. I think the first switch 1080 was over there.
Wasn't it also Lisa? I think she did a double again there, but I'm not 100% sure.
That's a good question.
Yeah, Lisa definitely. Yeah, no.
It proved so much that competitions, private or traditional, they really push the sports for women.
Yeah.
How is getting sponsorship money or any sponsorship clothing? Because I remember in one article with Howie said Maddie Jones with Saga outerwear. I did my research.
Yes.
I think in Mammoth, she
Yeah.
was doing a photo shoot and she said, Rosina, you want to be?
Yeah, I think it's true. I remember that. She was, it was her part or her part to be part of the Saga outerwear team or like to film with them in Mammoth. But then I think she went back home and then she was asking me if I want to do it. And I was like, yeah, sure, of course. And then I did it. And then I came in contact with them. And I think, yeah, they were the first people, like the first outerwear who paid me. And I think that was nice. It was pretty nice. I got a contract and Jeremy, he was still running Saga. And yeah, it was really cool. I was super hyped.
You got a contract?
Yes, I got a contract. Yes. And then I went to insolvency. I don't know the English word that they ran out of money and they had to close the brand. It was kind of a pity.
And there was a fire in the warehouse, if I remember right, too, at some point.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe the North American warehouse. I'm so happy you had a contract with them because when we did the timeline, that was one of the biggest issues. Like as soon as there was equal money for a contest, the contracts were quite still hard to get for women and to be pro athletes. And the contracts, it was protect you to make sure you have money to pay for all of your living expenses.
Yeah.
So Saga was ahead of the curve with that.
Yeah, that was super nice that they did that. And I think before I definitely got skis and like some stuff, but never kind of a budget that I have for me. Maybe like Entropy gave me like a travel budget or they pay for my flight sometimes. But yeah, that was nice that I got, I think it was 5,000. Something like that. And then it was nice I could use it for the season and pay filmers or traveling. And yeah.
And year was that?
I think it was maybe 2018, 19, so not so far away. Kind of.
Oh my God, like 6 years ago. Okay, so that was after Super Unknown.
Yeah, that was after Super Unknown.
So before Super Unknown, what competition was there for women? Other than traditional competition?
I think I did some raid champs. Like back in the days, there were the raid champs, and then the FISCOM starts. And then I was out of the game because I was not a slopestyler. I'm really bad. I'm okay in jumping, already more bad than okay, I would say. So I was always like doing my race skills and was super happy with the race skiing. And then they stopped, and then I started with making movies, and yeah.
Nice. What was your first movie?
Our first movie, well, I can't really remember, but I think we started the Emma Cray crew, like with friends in Innsbruck. It was also a boys' club.
Yeah,
so I was the only girl. Yeah, kind of. And then I think we went on travel, like we went traveling and made some movies there. We went to Georgia, we did like with the train, we did like this Interrail trip. So we got the ticket and then we went with the train to East Europe and filmed there. And yeah, I think that was kind of my first movies. And I think I definitely got inspired by the bunch. So that was what I always watching. And I think my biggest dream was to be part of the bunch. Like, yeah, and then we always tried to do something like getting and so we were inspired, but then we tried also to make kind of movies like them, I think, yeah. And also how they kind of inspired the whole skiing. I think they made so much like a big difference in the ski scene with their kind of skiing they did, or they're still doing, or what they're still doing is crazy. I think it's a really nice thing.
Yeah, now they're doing more like the marketing and sport movies, and
I also was 1,000 skis trying to support the core scene, and not super
I
cool.
remember the bunch.
Yeah.
It was like the bunch, real ski fee. Poor boys. Yes, so much.
And then there came, that's all Diamond Annies. I don't know if you know them. I think Katrin, and she was on line skiing. She started it. And then there was like, I think 2 movies with just race skiing, women and race skiing. I think it was not popping up so much. But yeah, there was already like a little movie with parts of skiers who did some race skiing.
We'll add this to the timeline.
Yeah, I think it's Katrina called, yeah. That's her name. She started that.
Okay. Yeah. Diamond Alleys.
Yes.
From when you started to now, what do you think is the major differences in the culture and the structure of park skiing?
I think the main difference is for sure that they are more open. I think I had the feeling when I started, it was like more, okay, you're the only one, or you're just two and you really have to fight all the time. And you always have to, I don't know why it's always like with women like this, or like most of the time, that we always have the feeling we have to improve ourselves or be better than the others. But I think, yeah, because there was maybe 2 or 3 women in the park and the rest was boys. And then you always have to, you always think, hey, I have to be better. I have to show something that they're like, say, hey, yeah, she's a good skier. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
That you always get this kind of feeling, hey, I'm good.
And the narrative is often, since there's 2 or 3 women, the people compare you to one another.
Yeah.
So you try and not compare yourself, but then the whole narrative around you is about, oh, but she did that, you did this. And then it's like, okay, but we're different entities, you know?
Yeah.
But back then, I remember feeling that way too, especially in rail jumps.
Yes. And I think also that they were like, oh, yeah, she can really ski or something like that. Or, yeah, I think that was kind of the most word you really heard. Or like, yeah.
She's good for a girl.
Yeah, she's good for a girl. True, that was the sentence. And I think also it's like you always had the feeling you have to look pretty because you're the only girl, and girls have to look pretty and you have to be nice when you do sports. And I think that's changed a lot. And I think also the welcoming in the community and in the women community, I think it's so good right now. And I think also with the networking that we're really strong in networking, building our communities and supporting each others. And I think that's so important, like to see here there are more and we don't feel like there's the only one, kind of, I would say like that.
Oh yeah, now you feel like you're supported, especially with Instagram. You see all the collective and you move to a new city. Like for me, I moved here and the first thing I look is where are the women collective for skiing? Because I was like, this is where I get to meet my people.
Yeah.
And I saw Peanut Butter Club.
Yeah.
Since I snowboard now, I do both. But I saw like everything. Yeah. So it's so important.
Yeah, I think it's so popping up and that's so cool to see, I think.
Yeah, and you have the big
so
WhatsApp peanut butter. Is it in German or in Dutch?
No,
or is empathies in Dutch?
I think in English, yes. Okay. Most time English. But yeah, I think also with the club, it's so cool because you can see what the girls are doing or the women, how they ski, and then you can, hey, they do it, I can also do it. And I think back in days, you just see always the boys, and then you were like, okay, I'm just good if I do like a 2 on, 2 off, for example, just like that. They always like comparing you to the boys. And I think that's super hard. And it also can make you super depressive. And yeah, I think now how the scene is so good. And I think it's going to be more crazy in the future.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm so happy to see what's coming up next. And yeah.
Oh, me too. With the first triple 2 years ago, then it's like women have proven that we have the ability.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people do triple. That's insane. It says
so
another
insane.
ability.
Yeah.
So I don't know what comes next, but in the women's scene. But for right now, I want to go back in time to the Super Unknown 2018. If you don't know, Level 1 Super Unknown is a free ski video. Participating allows you to gain exposure, potential sponsorship, and a shot at filming with Level 1. It started in 2004, and it was set out to provide athletes with alternative competition to traditional competition. One of the biggest contests for amateur back then, and still is today. However, from the first edition, it took them 14 years before accepting a woman into the contest in 2018. 6 years ago. 7 years ago now.
Yeah.
And it was you.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So how did that come about? Were you surprised to have been picked?
Yes, I think so. I didn't know what expected me. So I just still remember that we were in Mammoth the summer. Oh, the summer, I was saying, the spring. And I met some Danish guys and they told me about this contest. And because we met the Level 1 guys there filming. So I think Sampo won it in this year. And then I saw them and then I was like, hey, why is there never like a woman? I also want to be part of that. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do a video. And that's what was kind of my goal. And then I just started and I didn't know if they're going to invite me or what's going to happening. So I was super, super stoked. But yes, then I also injured myself in this season. So I tore my ACL.
Prior to Super Unknown?
What?
Prior to Super.
Yeah, before that, so I couldn't go to the Super Unknown. I never made it. And yes, but I was super still stoked that they were choosing me and that they were saying, hey, they're going to be more women after and they're going to open this field for women. And I think, yeah, that is also like a big goal and also maybe better than being there, I would say, because I didn't expect it that now. Yes.
Well, in the end, you made
Yeah.
the statement, like you, from that year on,
Yeah.
there was a permanent spot for women. The women after you was, who won was Georgia.
Yeah, Chio.
Because
Yeah.
Gio is how I
Yeah.
remember her.
Gio.
Her name Georgia.
Yes,
That's not
yeah.
Gio or something. Yeah.
And then Teresa, I think, Dasha was there too, but I don't know if she won, but Teresa won. Yes, was super nice. And I think I always saw it, like my biggest dream was also to be like a part of a movie, like of a bigger movie, like getting invited, or I don't know, but it's not so easy, I think. And I'm gonna use that chance and try if it's gonna happen or not. And yeah.
And after, even if you didn't go, you still made the finals, which is huge.
Yeah.
Did you see a change in opportunities for you?
For me, yeah, it changed like a lot. I didn't expect it too. I think I'm always have something in my mind as a goal, or like I would say it comes from my stomach or from my heart. And then I want to do it and I don't think so much like what's coming next. But then when I have it, and then it was with the level 1 final, that people get to know me more. And I think that was like a good step in my career, definitely. And then I started with the movies and yeah.
So what was the first movie after that? Did you get invited or it was with friends?
No, it was always with friends. I think that was like, yeah, that was like, I think I had a really hard time with that. I never got invited and I was like, fuck, what do I wrong? That's also like you're always thinking like, fuck, I also want to be invited. I also want to be part. Why is no one asking me? But then I was like, also, okay, then I do my own stuff. And then I had Louis, he was the filmer of our crew, but our crew like started working, so I was not so motivated for filming anymore. And then I'm like, hey, let's start our own movie. And yeah, that's how I started with movies.
And what was the name of that movie after?
I think my first movie was, we did Fluid. So that's all about the water, because I think it's so important, like, because we can drink water from tap and it's so easy for us drinking water and to get more like awareness into water. And we need it also for skiing. It's so important.
Yes.
And then I think I started like the movie Connected. Yeah. And then Bucket Tips. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I have watched all of those movies.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if there was one before I didn't know.
Yeah.
Do you still feel like it's a big topic in your skiing today?
I had this big both that there were big topics like the climate change and the women topic, and I really was like having a hard time to get like the both kind of same energy, I think. And then I was like, okay, women is super important for me, and it's kind of just the level 1 I did, so I'm trying to focus on that. But I'm still like super like care about climate, and I think it's still super important. But
It's 2 huge battles.
yeah, it's a huge battle. I think everyone should try and should try to live like, is it bewusst, aware? I think it's like aware that you like shop local, for example, or if you fly, then think about it. Do I really have to fly, for example, or like with the car, should I really drive or should I give it back? I think that's a small decision everyone can make, and I think that's also important. Yeah. But I think, it's still like a big thing. And I think it's also a big thing because skiing depends on the climate. And if there's no snow anymore, you can't really ski anymore. And yeah, I think that's also like what I'm struggling a lot because I put so much energy into skiing. And I don't know if there's going to be skiing in 50 years or what's going to happen. And I think that sometimes also like makes me a little bit sad. And I'm like, oh God, what I'm doing. Because, I don't know how the future looks like. But then I'm thinking, okay, I put my power into women and support them and want to make a space for them. Doesn't matter if it's skiing or somewhere else. It's just skiing because I'm good in this and I love it. And
And you said in the podcast, I have it here because it's in German. I translated it because I didn't understand a single thing. But I did practice though, because I thought maybe
Duolingo.
My Duolingo is not, I just killed my streak actually.
Me too.
It's so hard, but it's okay. We're getting there.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that skiing is more than a sport. It's a community and a platform for activism. You use ski films to address social issues like gender equality and express skiing as an art form, which this is a translation to English. So
Yes.
correct us if the quote is not okay.
Kind of what I said.
So what major events made you want to act on gender equality?
Like what major events?
For you and your own experiences, what made you want to act on gender equality?
Well, also was der oh God. So what was the situation who makes me motivated to do something like that?
Because something has to probably fire you inside a little bit to start doing bucket clips, you know, about a club.
I think it was my situation. I think but like my situation where I was and that I didn't got invited and I always had the feeling I have to fight so much, and also being always around with boys and how I treat myself because I was watching the boys and was saying I also want to ski like the boys, and I think the whole situation made me like think, and then I want to change that, and then I think that was where the motivation came from.
So mostly finding people to write with, having a road crew.
Yes.
And also film with as much women as men.
Yeah, that women are getting like more film parts and also being in magazines and also being like in Instagram maybe nowadays. Yeah, I think that was kind of my fire where I got it. Like,
which makes sense with bucket clips and seeing on bucket clubs, you really just like branch out into two areas.
And I think most of the times, like you're getting motivated if something's wrong in your life and to change it. And then, I think that was my motivation.
Yeah, and you changed a lot of the women around you, because you made it quite easier access. Like, just for me, I found it easier to make friends.
And I think it's so nice to share. And I think I can never be like just me as a skier and film myself all the time. I think for me, it's so much like more to give a space or to help or, to be a community or to support each other. I think that's much more worth it. Or also to do something with something that you're really good in, you're talented in, not to just use it for yourself, also to, give messages out with that or like sharing.
Make it bigger than just, that's it. So movement that people can join too, even if they're not skiing.
Yeah, I think it's the same with like singers. I think, for example, that they use their voice for something political or for climate or I don't know. And I thought like, hey, I cannot do that with skiing, kind of. Yeah.
And we saw with Kathy. It was so funny.
I used that.
Okay, look at this. It's a freeway girl, and she said this. Yeah, she said, her name is Elisabeth
Gerritsen. Yes.
Gerritsen.
Oh, yeah.
She said, as a world champion, I get invited to TV shows and my opinion is considered relevant. It's actually quite funny because with that title, all of a sudden people are listening to what I have to say, which is exactly how being an athlete, you kind of become political in a way because as she mentioned, people are listening. So you choose or not to convey a message and you choose what that message is. Yeah. So we are thankful that you chose that for our community.
Of course. Yeah, but I think that's how our system is working. What's crazy, So you have so much power, I feel like,
A lot of power. Well, even with the platform you have now, you have almost 10,000 people and they're all in the niche of skiing, freeride, park. Yeah. So if you say something on there, you are targeting exactly that community. Yeah. So it has and holds power.
Yeah.
Totally. Why do you think
she's also a cool girl, woman?
She's amazing.
Yes.
And the pictures she has in there.
She was also like,
are so cool. We have to do a podcast about this too. If you like too. But it's a lot of research. So it's like, maybe another time.
Next year.
Well, just in the research I did, we noticed here in the delayed part of women. So let's say the inclusion in the competition. So knuckle hock women were invited 4 years later than men. Super unknown 14 years later. Fine Knights 3 years later. X Games slopestyle 7 years after men. Well, X Games.
This was
Real
just Taylor.
ski,
Yeah, real
only
ski.
one woman.
Just Taylor. Yes.
In 2021. It's a delayed inclusion. What do you think causes a delayed inclusion like that?
The fastest answer would be like that there was not enough women, I would tell. But I think maybe there was not enough because they didn't get the same support than boys, I would say. Because when they got also like a bachelor already, or they were concentrating on girls or the women, and they got maybe told, hey, you can also do it. You can do crazy tricks like that. That's also possible for you as a woman. I think maybe we would be like faster. Yeah.
With more role models.
Yes, and role models, of course. Yeah.
The more you put on
role models are so important, I think, for us. Yeah. There was singing skating was kind of the same, that there was no role models on the magazines, there was no woman. And I think that changed it. And it also like the whole skate scene and also like was so crazy, and there's so good women, and yeah.
It explodes, and you see it in skateboarding and skiing and snowboarding. As soon as there are women role models, women in movies, women in competition, it explodes. And that's why in the last less than 10 years, it has taken a new turn completely. Yes. And for me, who like started skiing 2015, I feel like I've seen history, because when I started, not really any women were doing it in my hometown. We were almost like one pre-generation. There was Anne Prunel, who was the older. Olivia Assemay was... Yeah, we grew up in the same place. Yes. So she was a generation after me. Yeah. And prior to Anouk was Maud. We're all from the same place, which is crazy. Like, Stoneham is just finding out the women.
Yes, but I was also thinking that like when you were like home already, when you were a kid, I think there's also like how your parents grow you up, kind of, or the education. It's always not like, hey, or you always have the feeling they don't trust you or on your what you can do. So it's always like, also now, like it was 2 weeks ago, and my dad, he was like, oh no, you can't do it. We have to wait for Louis, or my husband. So I think it's still always in kind of our minds how our parents are also
to protect you.
Yeah, supporting us and don't trust that we can also do it. Like the boys, and I think that was like what was missing in the system, that the people were trusting us that we can do it, and then we didn't have the trust on us, I think, or there was no self-confidence that we can do it.
We're starting with that, like we have to protect them.
I think that's really now, if you see it like with athletes who are pregnant, if they come back or not, and I think there's no trust for them, like not a lot that, they're coming back. For sure, I'm so sure most of the people are saying, then they're pregnant, they never come back in the sports. Yeah. But I think if we would trust them more and say, hey, they can do it, and they come back.
Give them the support.
Yeah, and the support and the space, I think they definitely would come back.
I don't know if you follow Jamie Anderson in snowboarding, but she is one of the strongest examples right now. 2 kids. She's going to go for the Olympics, and she's documenting on Instagram a lot. And you see that it takes a village. Yeah. A full village, especially with 2 kids. And you see how they travel to the airport with like 1,000 baggages. Yeah. She's breastfeeding. She's doing the billiard practice. She's doing everything. And because of the support of her family, of Tyler, it's like they're making it happen. So it's possible. It's dedication. But it shows that every woman has their own story. Yeah. Like when I grew up, we didn't really have structure. So for me to do park, it was just, you do park. Yeah. And hopefully it leads you somewhere. Yeah. For Olivia, she was trained from a very young age in ski acrobats, which is like the aerials and moguls. And then she became slopestyle. And you could see that her progression was way quicker because there was structure. And she became the absolute legend she is today. Yeah. And she's like 22. Yeah. She's still so young. She has so much to do still. So like...
Yeah, it's super nice. I think that's the same with Lisa. I think she also has a structure with ice skating, for example. Or where's Anna Gasser? Because she was a gymnastic. I think that helps so much if you have like kind of the structure already, or even sports, and
and look too, she was a gymnastic, and she did do tour, I think 2 years after
She was a how do you say it? Like a
diver.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's so crazy. I didn't know that. But then now when you get to know it, it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
And she's like a very good diver. I remember watching
Yeah.
those videos. Yeah. Because at Christmas, I was like, I don't know, 15. I would make everybody watch Map edits.
Yeah. But I think you still see it, like, also with the coaching, that, like, athletes who are getting coached are much, like, better than the people, or most of the time, or, like, people who try to learn their own tricks, kind of, that there's, like, still, in the women's work, of course, sometimes there's still a little gap. Yeah, but I think now it's kind of getting the same. But yeah, that's almost changing.
Yeah, the structure of the sport. It gives them more.
But of course, if you have a coach who's saying what you're making wrong and you learn it and you train all the time and you go skiing a whole year and you don't have to work or you don't go to school or so much, I think you're just concentrating on skiing, and that makes it also so much like easier to get better at something. Because usually a skier is like working and then skiing, or like skiing in the day, working in a bar at night, or like working the whole summer and try to get some money for skiing. And I think,
yeah, that's still what I'm stuck in.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever get out of there.
Yeah, it's so hard to get energy for skiing sometimes, I think. Or like,
it comes down to like how much, it's a lot about the parents too, but what's important to note is that now you have access to this. Like you could be coach, you could be just a skier, you have choices, and that's what's super different from 10 years ago. Like when you did it, like it wasn't really an option that to be super structured and go to the, well, maybe more than maybe 15 years ago. Yeah, it's just different. So it's really cool to see now the new possibilities for women.
Yeah.
However, there's still like in 2021, Taylor being invited to the Real Ski X Games, the only women ever to be invited, which makes it an only men event.
Yes.
So like, how did you feel about seeing this? Because the opinions were divided online. Some saying, yes, but we invited women, we're inclusive. Some saying that's not inclusivity. And Taylor herself made an advocate post about this is just repeating history of like Sarah Berg going to bigger men.
I think sometimes the people are just doing that. Like, okay, we invited one woman and then we are kind of clean. I would say like, okay, then we have our woman statistic because we're inviting one woman, but I think that's not how it works. I think it should definitely be like for the street contest would be nice if there would be like just a woman contest and a boys contest. But then I think they're scared again that no one is watching it and they don't get the hype on it. But I think also for Taylor, it would be so much more motivating, or she would like ski more crazier maybe, or like for this thing, if she knew, okay, there's just like a girls, because now she had like so many crazy concurrents.
Yeah.
Yes, I think, yeah,
she's against the.
Or that would motivate me more, I think, if I knew that. Yeah,
because if you compete against people who have a similar set of skills as you, then you're going to go above your set of skills. Yes. But if you're competing against something that's untouchable, then why would you go above what you can do? Because it just feels impossible. And it's not because women will not have the ability to do so. It's just because we started later on.
Yeah.
Street is new. It's normal we're not at the same level.
I think so too. And I also think maybe she can like motivating her like really crazy. But yeah, it's still hard, I think. Yeah.
And that was the last year of it, so we didn't get to see. I feel like in the future,
but then
it would have been like they would have made more spots for women.
I think definitely. If they would do it now, I think we'll be so safe. Yeah.
Should we do?
It's
so much money, which is something we do have to note for these events. It's sponsor money based,
but I think that events are not, because they're not fit and they're inspiring so much or motivate so much like people who are not competing, I think. And I was also inspired. I was like, oh, maybe I can do it, like because it's a Taylor. And I was like, oh, but maybe in the future they're also gonna ask me, and I'm gonna do it, for example. And I think such events are so important that people are motivated, and that was the same as Super now, that people are always motivated to make a little edit and are still,
I feel like they could maybe do like a budget-friendly one, like almost like we could do a dupe. But then it's like sponsorship pays for your trip, not us.
Exactly.
Yes. Anyway, we'll see what the future goes. But
Goes, yes.
next year,
Maybe we do a Games for History.
yeah, we have Street is so much
We
dedication.
organizing it, yes. Not
Which
just organizing. Not skiing street anymore.
I don't think so. I think I will shovel and help other people, but my bones hurt
Yes.
too much. I can't. Which brings me into it's a different topic, which is mostly why we're sitting here today. And it's most recent articles, podcasts, and mainstream media. I just want a little bit of your opinion to help us understand what are they talking about and why are they talking about this. So to do so, I want to start with the old head, new head. The recent one with our good friend Taylor Lundquist, who she did very good in that podcast because the questions seem to have made her feel sometimes uneasy. But we don't have her here to talk about it, so it's not about that today.
Next time.
That would be so nice. She was just here last week. So yeah, Eric Arberg, which is one of the pioneer of free skiing, co-founder of Inspired Media, co-founder of Armada Ski. He helped build a big part of the infrastructure, media, and culture of modern free skiing. So he's been here, like he started Inspired, I believe, in 2000. Like he's been there for a long time. However, he said in this episode, and we quote, "When did a girl at the top of the sport do anything for the sport since 2007? Because every girl since then has been like, what are we equal? Where's our money? The girls back then didn't ask. They just created their own shit." He proceeds to congratulate Taylor Brooke Lundquist for TBL session as the first interview done by women at the top of the sport since 2007.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the top of the sport women have done anything to give back since 2007?
I think yes. I'm sure that they gave something back. Also, like, for example, Lisa Zimmerman. Now I'm thinking some stuff comes to my mind. She's also doing this kind of coaching for free, so you can participate for free, for example. Then, of course, TBS session, what we were talking about. Then Sissing Crab Attack is now there. And who else is a pro skier? Like, I think also Mathilde, she's also coaching next to it in Switzerland. And I think there's some things, but I think maybe they're not really popping up or the community is not getting it, like kind of everything, because it's also like a lack of news and infos about women and what they do. Or they're starting a brand like you do, for example. I think also Caritra, and I think Ivy is also like a brand was running by girls, by women, and I think there's definitely more stuff going down. And yeah, it's hard if it's not when there's no report about it to judge already that there's nothing happened. I think that's
Well, just you, peanut butter
peanut butter bucket
clips, and
I also try was connected to get some women in there. I think there's some, and I think also like Emma, when I met Taylor the first time, she did also a movie with Coco, Chelly, and Taylor and Malmas. So yeah, she was also a pro, I think. Yeah.
Emma,
Emma does.
One of my favorite.
Yeah.
I loved her style, the color she was wearing, and she seemed like the most approachable pro to me.
And then Maud, she also did her was it Mad Steez, or what was the brand called?
Bad Love.
Yeah, Mad Love.
Yeah, she did the brand. She still is doing.
Yeah, she's still doing. So that's also something.
And to make your life easier, I made a list of everything too.
You made a list?
Well, because it's like,
tell me.
To me, I was in North America for so long, so it's different influence. But just to know, like, with just the facts, historically, there has never been that many women events, women brands, women collective, and a women movie since 2007. It has never been more. So you would think Iberg knows like the possibility in professional skiing since he is one of the founders of it. So anyways, we just want to give you a little rundown of a few. So, in the women collective, let's name a few. We have Grab Collective, Peanut Butter Club, Shred Unit, Girl Powder, Women's Sport Foundation does a lot of events. In the brands, we have BS Rabbit, Nikita, Street22, Rodeo, Mont Royal co-owner is Anna, Vortex, Jeep Girl, peak performance CEO was for a long time Sacha. Icelandic ski since 2014. But it's a lot. Is led by Annalise. Half days Bib Belt Coalition Snow, Doug Barnes, Coyote Snow, Sava, Skida. In the events, we have, just to name a few, Taylor Brooklyn's quiz TBL session, Grace Anderson Invitational for the Yomis, organized by Maria, Queen of the Park, Solina session coming up with Annie Caraval, Grace's Getaway, and Uninvited and Snowboarding, just because these are absolute cultural events too.
And I think I don't know, like magazines, like Glitter, isn't it Glitter from the US? There's a magazine,
Glitter?
I think also by women, and also super friendly. They did a magazine. So yeah, that's
Glitter. I do think,
I think it's Glitter. I got it when I was at TBL session, so I think it's also from a woman.
Yeah, I think Ella might have one of the. Yeah, there's like
of course, Coco. I totally forgot about Coco. With her 2 movies she did.
Colleen.
Yeah, Coco yeah. The best. Yeah.
Yeah, there's. Anyway, so just
a
list of things that happen in case you were wondering. Yeah, because it's hard to remember when you're deep in it, but we'll give the list out too so you can see it. And also you can help us build it because it's a teamwork. It's impossible to know everything by yourself. It's like 3 meccas of skiing, like Canada, US, and Brooke. Too hard.
It's too big. No.
For real, too big. I had written, like, do you feel that there's any misunderstanding between older generation and today?
Yes. If there's a misunderstanding?
Well, sometimes.
I think so. I think some of the old people, old skiers, are still in kind of their bubble. And I think what's happening here with all the splinter groups and what's popping up and the women's group and the communities, I think they don't see it and they're not, maybe they're also not interested, but what's happening also with TBL session and there was just women. Yeah, I think there's no interest, like see what's going on and what's happening in the community. And I think that's missing. Yeah. So.
Yeah, sometimes it's, they just don't, they go under the radar for these people.
I think so.
But they had also such a different reality of, let's say like, I don't know, 15 years ago, a little bit more, you had to fight yourself if you're men or women, just to get the support, like even just to get into snow parks. So then it's a different reality, and maybe sometimes the new generation can't understand either what happened, and there's maybe a little bridge that you have to do the homework.
I think so, especially also when you're kind of young and new in skiing, I think you also don't know, you're thinking, it was always like that, and don't think so much in the back.
And you don't think that.
Yeah, but I think it's normal. It's in every situation you're getting into. So, oh, how was the past? I don't really know about it. But you just see.
Well, just like when you arrived, we were saying, like at Freeride World Tour, the equal pay on your rise at 2020.
Yeah.
Like it's not big that long, but it's also a newer sport. But it's just, it makes you realize it's not that long ago.
No, it's not long ago.
It's just been 35 years that we're doing this.
Because also with the ski jumping, I think last year was that the woman just got like a voucher for some cosmetic stuff and things, and the boys got some money or sent presents with like a present basket with like, creams and stuff, and was like, what the fuck is happening, kind of. Yeah. And it was last year, so.
And we were talking that some women in ski jumping too, it's like the violin of ski jumping. So I think you ski jump and you run, or you do cross-country skiing, and there's still only the men's are in the Olympic, not the women.
Yeah.
So to this day, it still happens, and women are fighting to be in the Olympic.
Yeah.
So we still have a bit of ways to go, but we do have to say thank you to the past generation, because it feels like I personally didn't have to fight my way through like people did in the past.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely more comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful.
Yeah, with that. 100%. Yes.
Like for me, I was semi-finalist for Super Long, and the process of me just thinking about it was super simple. I was with my friend and I was like, should we film for this year? Yeah. So that was my whole process, because you changed that.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. No, it's nice. But I think with the past, it's always nice also to watch really old ski movies. Because there's like some, I think, was I don't know the movie's called, but I think it's her name's Greta or something. She also
Greta Eliasson.
yeah, and they did like crazy cliff jumping, or like front flips from high cliffs, and I was like, what the fuck? Was this last year? But it was like 6 years ago or 7, and they were so crazy in skiing already. And I think we always also forgetting kind of this, that there was already women who were really crazy. But yeah.
Did you know in snowboarding the first dub backflip was in the 90s?
No, I don't know.
First dub backflip entirely in
Yeah.
wow. First dub backflip in the powder
Oh wow.
by her name something. But after her doing this,
Yeah.
she didn't really get celebrated for it.
Yeah.
It went under the radar, and people started doing those again like 20 years later.
Yeah.
But I have her in my notes. Like she has the super sick goggles, and I think she had a pro model after that for a long time.
Yeah.
Anyway, awesome
So,
person.
yeah. Yeah, I think the same as the front flip. I think Mortes, or what's her name, the Swiss guy, Swiss woman. Well, she's doing it, but I think these two, and I think that's now saw it again. Piper, for sure, Piper. Yeah.
But it's like if we saw that clip of if we saw it more,
Yeah.
then probably people would have that already earlier.
Definitely.
But Mia Lamston is doing a documentary about this that is coming out in December.
Oh,
so
nice.
you will see that double.
Yeah.
And it's all about the history of snowboarding.
Oh,
So it's a
cool.
very good time frame that we're doing with skiing right now.
Yeah. Nice.
I like
Yes. It's amazing. Didn't know it. Yeah.
Yeah, the clip is huge. She went to the moon, and you have to see this.
Yeah.
But I had written here in the notes also another thing about article that came out. So this one, it's more personal because it's one of it's your friends, basically. So just to give a bit of context, Armada came out with a new movie called Ornella. It was a 2-year project with the help of 30 plus athletes. That's what they state on the website and in the credits.
How many is it?
The 30.
30. Okay, great.
Yeah. Well, I didn't remember it 30 people, but they do like credit like Max Baum, who didn't end up in the movie, but he's like part of the team. So I think they just credited all the Armada things because it's around 30 people. And what was your name in there? Because Armada has been your sponsor for many years now, with a lot of good friends of yours in there as well.
Yeah.
So this year they came out with the project. It was a unique performance. So there was a live orchestra, enormous budget for the ski scene, as like other brands are really scraping by. They come out with the biggest show. So you're credited as one of the athletes who makes that movie happen. After the first representation, Ski Magazine wrote an article. The article was named Armada New Ski Film is ambitious, entertaining, but makes one big mistake. The quote is from Sierra Schaefer, editor-in-chief of Ski, fellow woman skier. She says, Armada new film Ornella feels like a step backward. It's a near total lack of women, and it is hard to ignore. The article says that there is 7 women technically in the film, but most viewers couldn't even tell. I thought the film might redeem itself when Malu Petersen and Anne Wengler appeared, gearing up to ski a massive backcountry line. But it was a blink and you missed 10-second clips of 2 turns and then poof, cut away. That was it. We've since learned that 7 women appeared in the movie, which case in point wasn't remotely clear in the theater. Without the same spotlight storyline of screen time that men received, their presence was nearly invisible. Representation isn't just about putting women in the frame and checking the box. It's about making sure it is truly seen. Even though you haven't seen the movie,
I saw the article already. Yeah.
But do you feel like when you were like preparing up, you did film for the movie, you just didn't end up in there. Did you feel like what Sierra Schaefer might be true? Might anything remotely like? Do you think she's? Yeah, since you haven't watched,
I think it would be so sick. Yeah, it would be so sick to hear Amada and what they thought saying about it. What's their like idea was behind it and why they didn't put it in. Maybe they had too many crazy clips that I really wanted to put it in and have like a time the movie has to be. But I think it's also sad to see then that the woman's part is cutting out because it's not maybe like crazy like they would love to have. but I just heard from other people how long the women's part was. Yeah, that's the thing then again. Should it be like half-half, or what's kind of the best? I think it's always so hard to tell what's the best. Yeah, but I think they have a lot of women on Murder, and they have good women. And I think that this would be definitely like a possibility to say, hey, we're trying to have more minutes of women and cut a little bit out of the boys, kind of. Yes, that's what I say. And you?
And well, as someone who saw it but didn't know what happened in the background, I thought it seemed to me as an audience, like,
Yeah.
that we saw women more than usual
Yeah.
in a unisex movie. So I like that they mix Olivia and Danny together. They put Rel and Maureen together. I felt like these three women were very seen. Sorry. It's your parking timer.
Yes, that's my parking timer.
It's okay. We only got three more questions. Yeah, I thought that Olivia, Mahid, and Rel were well seen. For the backcountry, I thought that was too short. I had trouble understanding like the storyline of the Powder for Women compared to like Sandy Paulson and Taylor Hall that had like huge parts, but they're also like legend for a long time. But Mad Moan is also, and Malu, I want to see more because I follow her on Instagram and I haven't seen enough of her content. So then, to me, half and half. I like that it was all together, that there was a lot of women involved. But something that was noticed, and that's something that the article mentioned too, the behind the scene, the credits, it's all men or mostly men. How do you think that affects a ski movie?
I think a lot. And I think because we are definitely thinking different, and also we are saying that we're more networking and supporting each other. And I think if that would be different, I think also like what you were saying, that Matt Maud, she's 16 years with her mother already. Why doesn't she have a part in there when all the legends has a part? Because she's like a really big legend, I would say. And it would be so nice to have a little like part of her into. I don't know what the communication was or what happened, but I think that would be like a dream to see kind of in a mother teen movie. And yeah, and also like, I don't know, because they're like under the article, I think that was the most where I was like more disappointed about the comments, that the people that are there or what they said, and that they're always going like kind of playing who wrote the article, and that's like so usual, like normal, that people are like hating on, it's a woman, she's a race skier, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's just right, and she was like saying the movie is great, it's so great, it's just the only thing what she was missing. Also like Olivia's part was great, but she was like just saying, hey, I would wish like a kind of the same screen time woman as boys. Because then I think we're also kind of the same point again, that if women see this kind of movie and see, whoa, how many girls are in there of women skiers, they would be so motivated to ski, or also like try hard to get also to a Marta and to be in a ski movie. I think that would be so motivating for us again. And I think that's where they totally miss out.
You're totally right in the sense that it compares to if you're a young girl watching a ski movie, what do you get inspired by?
Yeah.
You would get inspired by the characters of the men, but the ladies is the definition of style. Was it enough to inspire a young girl to become to the same way we got inspired?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So a little bit of different opinions, and it was so divided online. That was insane. So still today, I don't think we have solved this one because there are too many nuances, but something to work in the future is definitely involve more of a men on the back.
I think so too. Also, if it's maybe not the crazy skiing we have kind of in mind, but I think that's also like the crazy skiing comes from the boys skiing, because we always have this in mind because we saw it first. I think it's so hard to like compare it all the time, the boys and the women skiing, because we are like women and this is our boys, and I think we ski different, and that's also like really good that we ski different and we're still good in things. And I think to push that and to see, hey, that's another kind of skiing, but it's still super cool and still super nice, and you don't have to do triples or quads or I don't know what, but you're still a good skier just to give the feeling to someone. I think that would be so important.
Totally, with the selection of the spots.
Yeah.
And I think Olivia, who I wanted the biggest part with Danny B,
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like I didn't even know who was writing. Like her style is so
Yeah, she's
sick.
amazing.
And so is Danny B. Danny B
Yeah,
was
yeah.
huge. So huge. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah.
But having them together, you could see how much of a force it is.
Yeah.
And it really showed to me in the progression of women's skiing that we are there now, that we have parts with men, and it's like our level is good in the street, and the streets are so hard. They're
And the
so
bar
hard.
is crazy, the level. When I was at TVL, I think the woman level, it's so crazy.
One of, TBL, it made something in the history
Yeah,
for the
I think
level
so,
of women.
yeah.
Just the entries of the women, flips out of rail, back a street, all mixed together. The consistency of athlete understanding the sport, understanding that riding the park is good, it's great, but it's not the full picture, was there.
Yeah.
To be in, you had to do a little bit of everything, and people showed up, and there was too much people showing up.
Yeah. And I think that's also like a point where I was like, because it's always like we do something for women, we as a woman, but there could be also like a brand, or like you were saying, just boys credits. They could also do something for a woman to get them involved in the sports and to get more motivated. I think, of course, it's that we do it because it's our future, or like how we get treated. But I think it would be also so nice that someone is stepping up from the boys or from the industry and saying, hey, let's do it. I think like Twig is, for example, he's really good in that. I also think Surface, like the guy, what's his name again?
Jason?
Jason, he's super in this. He's so supportive also for the car industry.
He's the
just
only,
stepping up for women skiing. And
when I did the timeline, he's the only man that kept coming back and back and back and back. So much that I decided not to write his name anymore because I was like, oh my god. But also the milestone he has done for women.
yeah,
They are smaller in the sense that it's not like a historical thing, but there are so many small milestones that he has done with women that he's one of the biggest helper, like treadmills, like how to see, like he fast forwarded the progression of women in a way that has never been seen by a man in the industry. From what I've done,
he's also so, I think he's the fast answering guy in the industry ever. Because you're writing on my email and next day he already answered. I'm like, what the fuck? How fast is he?
And he has a daughter to take care of. He has a second mom. He takes the time, and he shows that if you want it, if you want to help, you can help. Like he does not have the time, he takes the time. He helped us too with this, making the timeline. He helped us understand some things that we still don't understand. Like, let's say X Games, there's 8 spots for women, 8 spots for men, but men get extended to 12 spots. And then he explained to us like all the sponsorship and money and everything. And there's still a gray zone of why they're not women. Anyway, he helped us not to touch that subject now because the history is being written on this one and still too new.
Yeah, but he's a really good guy and helps a lot. I think he's also so supportive for the women and skiing. Yeah.
When Sava the brand cut women before they cut men in their team, he always is the first one to knock at their door and say, you should come on Surface, we got you.
Yeah.
Wonderful human being. And another thing I have to note is then the back end of FIS, he does the judging. He's head judge for United States. And that's probably not the right title. He's more than head judge. I just don't know the right word. Anyway, he's the guy.
He's everywhere in the scene.
And he is the one to go and write to women park skiers and pipe skiers to get involved in judging, how to get your certification. So he's bringing more women into the back end and into the front end of skiing.
So cool.
He deserves that big shout out.
Yes. I love also that there are more women coming filming, so that they're like maybe like in the credits more women too.
Yeah.
I think that would be so sick too. Yeah.
I love the picture we have drawn so far of the industry. I think you've been so helpful.
Yeah. Thank you. You too. Yeah.
It's such a good conversation, which we have touched. I had to do the future question of what's the future of Vesima. And I asked help from Caddy because I was like, future questions are so hard to answer. And you have the classic question, which is like, what do you want to do in the next 5 years?
how do you see your future? Yeah.
But to me, I think I wonder more than 5 years, like as you're getting more in your later 30s, I don't know your age.
35.
35? Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure, but I think that's late. Yeah, mid 30s. That's
Mid 30s, yes.
You don't look older. It's just because you
have.
Pardon me. Like if you calculate in the next 10 years and you're 45, what do you think you'll be doing? Like, do you think you'll still be involved in that whole industry? This free ride. I know. This one really helps for me because I wonder, like, I'm 27.
Yes.
In 10 years, I'm 37. What will I be doing at 37? I have no idea.
Me either. I already thought I'm getting kids with 30. Now I'm 35 and I still don't have kids.
Is that some super person?
No. But it's not like, always like, yeah, it's so hard to plan in the future, I think, because I'm really trying to just live from one year to next year. But I don't know if I'm still in the industry. Maybe I have my garden and I'm home and have my hippie life and
Definitely they are.
yeah, do like, yeah. So, yeah, but I don't know. I think right now I still really love it and I still love to be there. And like last season, I was already saying was, I think, the best season of my life, not because of my skiing. I think more what like with the bucket trip and the TBS session, like all the events and what I did or where I traveled to the places. I think that was so amazing and I was really happy. Yeah.
It's filling your bucket.
Yeah. Filling my bucket, yes.
Do you think there's enough money for if, let's say you have you extend your family to children, which is something I think about for your future of mine. Like, do you think there's enough money in skiing to live a sustainable, like put money into retirement?
I think money is like, yeah, I think right now it's definitely not easy, especially with the less snow. I don't know, it's like that they don't have so much money anymore. I have the feeling, I don't know. I'm not so good at economic. Is it like economic?
Yeah, financial planning.
Financial planning or what's going on like on in the industry. But yeah, I think it's so important to find like also another way. And I think it's not, for me, it's not just skiing. I'm skiing. I also have this woman topic and I'm also supporting women and building something out of that. And I think that's really good to have two things. Yeah, in the future, not just like me as a skier, and I really have to perform well, great all the time. That I also have this kind of other projects, and I think that's so important to have. Because I don't know if there's still money in the ski industry in 10 years or what's going to happen.
It's changed so much.
You already see it now. It's so much more efficient than if you get someone who's not in the industry as a sponsor, maybe most of the time.
Yeah, now there's social media collaboration money too.
And social media and skiers.
Yeah, the money is changing. Like some people are making more money being a social media skier, but then it doesn't feel the same. It's totally different area of skiing.
Yeah.
But you see, like,
you have to promote you all the time.
she's 41.
Yes.
Yeah. So it shows that there's all types of career.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a very interesting mall going on.
Yeah.
But we're just in the flat kitchen. So.
But yeah, I think she's crazy that she came back. But I think that's also a kind of dream. And I think if you have a dream, you should definitely try to make it happen.
Make it.
Yeah,
It really shows like there's not a lot, but at least above 40.
But that's also like a thing again. I think that people, you're 35 again already. You can't ski anymore. But I think that's also kind of I call it always system thought. And I think you can do everything if you want and really, put effort into it and it's your goal and your dream, then everyone should go for it, I think.
And if I feel like if we don't do it, then we don't feel good.
Yeah.
It's like if we stop skiing tomorrow, what? So you just keep going. So my last question will be, I have to. It's just, do you think the future lies in alternative competition, such as like Jib League, Snow League, Extreme Leagues, which coming next year? Well, I guess it's not a good question because then it's not one or the other. Because it was either health or just competitive skiing, which both can go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But do you feel like this is a new door that really has shown in the last years of having those alternative competitions?
Yes.
Do you feel like the future will be a mix of all of this together in movies?
I think so. I think it's gonna be a mix, and I think it's so great that there are events without FIS points or competition. It's kind of still a competition, but like more like
Writers voted.
writers voting, yeah. And no, I think that's still great because it's for sure some people really like to have this competition feelings or this kind of pressure, and I need it and to get better. And I think it's so important. It's kind of the sports competing. And yeah, I think kind of a mix would be nice to have. I hope movies are still gonna be there because with all the social media, our concentration is so smaller. And it's so hard to watch maybe like a 20 ski movie. I had those bucket clips that was like, oh fuck, it's too long, we have to shorten it and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope it's still coming back. But maybe like kind of with Walkmans, that they're like with headphones with the cable, that they're like back in the days they were like trendy, then now it's like the iPhone, like the without cable.
Yeah.
The AirPods.
Like pretty nice.
Now they're back. So maybe the movies are back in the future again. But I think there's still a culture going on. And this culture is still strong. I think that definitely gonna be ski movies forever.
You see, like, I feel Jenny Lee is one of the biggest examples of that new culture of alternative versus competitive. For you, if you don't know Jenny Lee, how do you pronounce her last name? Emberson?
Bermanson? I think so, Bermanson. But I'm not 100% sure.
You can just call her Mega G. I has the Mega G feature. It's her signature, but Mega G. She competed in X Games at 15. She did a career in a very young age, and then she came back with alternative competition, and she is now showing up a huge style, a huge consistency for skiing. She will do the rock rail. She does the Ghibli. She's invited recurrently to the Ghibli. She's getting support with the sponsors, and she is showing up for that new woman kind of career. So she already has started 2 careers in skiing. And so she is, to me, the emblem, the person of that era. Meaning, like, she is the proof of the bridge.
Yeah. No. Also, like, I watched her movie with, I think the other guy, his name was Felix. She did a little ski movie, like, last year, I think. And it was so sick to watch because it's kind of, they're also changing all the skiing. Like, it's him, then it's her, then it's him, then it's her. And it's so well. I think I would love to see the ski movies in the future too. That kind of, thinking it's kind of the same screen time. No one is, I never was like, oh, he's doing crazy tricks and she is doing this crazy tricks. I was just watching and was so fluid. Is it fluid?
Yeah.
Yeah, and worked really well. I think it was so sick to watch.
Do you remember the name of that movie?
No. But you can find it on your Instagram.
Jenny Lee
Instagram. Yes.
Okay. Well, my last question for today is, what are your... Oh, fuck, we did that. It was, what are your personal goals? Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to a woman starting skiing today?
A woman to start skiing, I think, is a mere gift. Fuck. Lots of posting time. It's like my advice for a woman who's starting with skiing, don't think too much, just do it and just follow your heart, I must just say. And try to keep out like bad voices or like bad vibes. I think just go in the park, just try, don't be scared, and find some friends that motivates you to ski and to try some new stuff. I think that's also super important. Yeah.
Just do it for you.
Yes.
Like reduce the background noise.
Yeah.
And use skiing to reduce any background noise of your life. Amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
It was so much fun. Yes. I feel like I could sit here for so much longer.
I also hear the timeline.
The whole timeline, which we will release. I just have to work on the graphic design of it, and also maybe make it that people can write comments or anything about it. But yeah, let's have that question from Caddy.
Caddy.
From Caddy.
Peanut butter again, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Kathy. Hi, Rosie. I have one question for you, and I got to do the peanut butter club with you, like from beginning, from the season on, and I wanted to know, like, I noticed that it's much more work than you think it is, and same with bucket clips and all the other stuff you do. What keeps you going to do this? Like, what pushes you? I mean, you do it like for some years now, and I mean, at one point you would just stop, but why you keep going?
I think I keep going because it's kind of a track. If you see the people, how happy they are and how stoked they are. And I think I also really love to connect with people. I think that's like what makes me really happy. And I think with the Peanut Butter Club, I definitely can connect people, and also with bucket clubs, because then people get to know each other. They can go on trips, they can be friends, or they can go skiing together. And I think that makes me so happy when people say it. So yeah, that they're happy and it's cool. And yeah, I think I really like to make others happy.
We wish you a good evening. Thank you so much for everything. And we'll see you again in the new episode. Don't forget, Rosina has you have a hoodie on the Street22 website. It helps us fund the podcast. So support if you'd like. Also, it's a wonderful hoodie. I will get one of myself. It's so nice. Comes into colors. And where can we find you on social?
Instagram, Rosina Friedel. Yeah. I also have TikTok, but yeah.
You recycle the clips.
Yeah, recycle clips on TikTok. Yes.
Awesome.
No.
And Peanut Butter Club, Bucket Clicks, Instagram as well.
Thank you. You're better, making me better advertise for me.
I know that's so much homework, you know. I feel like I've just graduated my exam.
Oh, nice. Yes, thank you. Hey. So nice.
That was so good.
Yeah, I hope
my legs are done.
Sometimes we miss
So
English
good.
words and fuck, whatever the name
hard.
is. It's so hard.
The adjectives, I feel like I was
Yeah.
saying nice, cool, fun,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I wish I had more depth.
I'm saying that also the whole time.
That was so good.
But it's nice. Yeah, she's also like Elizabeth Garrison. She's also like a great person, and I think she also has like a lot of. She has to handle a lot of bad messages because she's a woman, and she revert to her in comments. And yeah.
Do you get bad messages? I get once.
Nah, like never.